Welcome to Ash and Iron, where we dig through the ashes of history to find the iron truth beneath. September 22nd, 1236. A swamp in northern Lithuania. Grand Master Volquin of the Livonian Brothers of the Sword realizes too late they have ridden into an ambush. Samogitian warriors surround his knights. Arrows rain down from the tree line. There is no escape from the marshy ground where heavily armored knights cannot maneuver. By nightfall, Volquin is dead. Nearly 50 Brothers of the Sword are killed. Half the entire knightly strength of the order wiped out in one afternoon. The Livonian Brothers of the Sword were supposed to be the Teutonic Knights of the North. For 34 years, they succeeded. Then one battle destroyed everything. This is the story of an order that rose fast and died faster than any other in Crusader history. Subscribe if you are not already subscribed. Let us begin. The year is 1202. The Baltic coast is one of the last pagan frontiers in Europe. While Crusades rage in the Holy Land and the Reconquista grinds through Spain, northern Europe remains unconverted. The Lithuanians, Latvians, Estonians, and Prussians still worship the old gods, building sacred groves, sacrificing to thunder and forest spirit. They raid Christian settlements and enslave Christian merchants trading along the Baltic. The Pope wants them converted.
The conversion of the Baltic pagans is a sacred duty. We must complete the Christianization of Europe.
The German merchants want them pacified.
Look at the losses.
We must fund the crusade immediately.
Both want someone to conquer the Baltic. Enter Bishop Albert of Riga, a German cleric with ambition and a plan. In 1201, he establishes the city of Riga at the mouth of the Daugava River, a new settlement in Livonia, modern-day Latvia, planted deep in pagan territory with hostile tribes surrounding it on nay sides. Bishop Albert needs soldiers to protect his new city and force the pagans to convert at sword point. In 1202, he founds a military order, the Livonian Brothers of the Sword. They model themselves on the Templars and Hospitallers. White mantles with a red cross and red sword emblem. They take monastic vows of poverty, chastity, obedience. They live as warrior monks, praying between campaigns, fasting before battles. But unlike the Templars, who answer only to the Pope, the Brothers of the Sword answer to Bishop Albert. They are his personal army, his tool for conquest. Not independent like other military orders, but controlled by their founder, and they are ruthless. The Livonian Brothers wage a war of conquest and conversion without negotiation or mercy. They do not offer terms or accept surrender. Convert or die. Village by village, tribe by tribe. They force Latvian and Estonian pagans into submission through systematic terror and overwhelming military force. They build fortresses across Livonia to control conquered territory. Cesis, Valmiera, Wendham. Castles rising from Baltic forests. They establish a network of strongpoints, garrisoned with German knights and conscripted locals. German settlers flood into the region behind the armies, bringing Christianity, German law, feudal hierarchy, replacing pagan culture completely. The pagans resist, they launch uprisings, ambush Crusader patrols, burn settlements, fighting back against the invaders. But the Brothers of the Sword have superior armor, cavalry, and discipline that overwhelms pagan resistance repeatedly. And they have reinforcements. Every few years, the Pope declares a crusade to the Baltic, and German knights arrive seeking glory and land. By the 1220s, the Brothers of the Sword control most of Livonia through systematic conquest. They force mass baptisms at sword point. They destroy pagan shrines and execute those refusing conversion. It is brutal, efficient, effective. The order grows wealthy from taxes, trade, and land grants collected across their conquered territories. They field armies of knights, soldiers, and conscripted locals, becoming a power in the Baltic region. A northern counterpart to the Teutonic Knights carving out their own state in Prussia. But they are also arrogant. In 1236, the Brothers of the Sword turn their attention south to the Samogitians, a pagan Lithuanian tribe that has been raiding Livonian territory for years without being conquered. The brothers decide to crush them once and forever. Grand Master Volquin leads an army south into Samogitian territory in late summer 1236. His force includes around 50 Brothers of the Sword, along with several hundred other soldiers and local auxiliaries. The expedition is designed to terrorize the pagans into submission through overwhelming force and brutal reprisals. But the Samogitians are ready. They have been watching the brothers for years, learning their tactics, studying their weaknesses, waiting for the perfect moment. They know the brothers are overconfident after decades of easy victories against disorganized pagan tribes. They know the heavily armored knights can be lured into terrain where their advantages become weaknesses. On September 22nd, 1236, the two forces meet at the Battle of Saule in northern Lithuania. The Brothers of the Sword expect an easy victory against inferior pagan forces. They charge, and they ride straight into an ambush. The Samogitians are not fighting in open formation like European armies the brothers have trained to defeat. They use hit-and-run tactics, archery from the tree line, cavalry charges, then rapid withdrawals, using terrain to their advantage. They encircle the brothers and cut off their escape routes before the Germans realize what is happening. The heavily armored knights, bogged down in swampy ground, cannot maneuver effectively in the marshy Lithuanian terrain. The Samogitians close in. Arrows rain down on the trapped knights. Javelins punch through gaps in armor. There is no defense against being surrounded in a swamp with no way out. The Samogitians slaughter them. Grand Master Volquin is killed fighting in the melee, his white mantle soaked in blood and mud. Nearly 50 Brothers of the Sword die. Half the entire knightly strength of the order cut down in one afternoon. Hundreds of soldiers are killed. German mercenaries, conscripted locals, bodies left in the Lithuanian swamps. The survivors flee back to Livonia. Broken, humiliated, understand they have lost everything in a single catastrophic mistake. The Battle of Saule is the deadliest defeat any military order has suffered since the Battle of Hattin. But unlike the Templars who recovered from Hattin, the Brothers of the Sword do not have the resources. They are finished. After Saule, the Brothers of the Sword are a shadow of what they were before the catastrophe. They have lost half their knights in one afternoon. They have lost their Grand Master and their reputation. The pagan tribes, emboldened by the stunning victory at Saule, rise in rebellion across Livonia and Estonia. Uprisings break out in territories the brothers conquered and forced into submission over the previous 3 decades. Towns that were forced to convert now rebel, destroying churches, killing German settlers, abandoning Christianity entirely. The brothers cannot suppress the rebellions, too weak, too few, too demoralized after the disaster at Saule. The Bishop of Riga panics. He cannot control the situation alone. He needs help from a more powerful order. So he turns to the Teutonic Knights. The Teutonic Order, already established in Prussia, is more powerful, better funded, more disciplined than the shattered brothers. They agree to absorb what remains of the Livonian Brothers of the Sword into their own organization. In 1237, just 1 year after the catastrophe at Saule, the Pope officially merges the two orders. The Livonian Brothers of the Sword cease to exist as an independent organization. They become the Livonian branch of the Teutonic Knights, known simply as the Livonian Order. The white mantles with red swords are replaced by the black cross of the Teutonic Knights. The fortresses are transferred to Teutonic control. The surviving knights swear new oaths to new Grand Masters. The Brothers of the Sword are gone. They lasted 35 years, from 1202 to 1237. One battle destroyed them completely. The Livonian Order, now part of the Teutonic Knights, continues the work the brothers started decades earlier. They suppress the pagan uprisings with Teutonic efficiency and overwhelming military force. They rebuild the fortresses that fell during the rebellions after Saule and expand Teutonic influence across the Baltic. For the next 3 centuries, the Livonian Order operates as the northern arm of the Teutonic Knights. They fight the same enemies the brothers fought: Lithuanians, Russians, rebellious pagans. Brutal campaigns enforcing Christianity and German rule. They build the same castles using the same tactics and maintaining the same brutal discipline, but they are no longer independent. They are vassals of the Teutonic Grand Master based in Prussia. And when the Teutonic Knights decline after the Battle of Grunwald in 1410, the Livonian Order declines with them. By the 16th century, the age of crusading orders is over. The Reformation sweeps through Europe, changing everything. In 1525, the Teutonic Knights secularized their Prussian state, converting to Lutheranism, becoming secular rulers. The Livonian Order tries to hold on, maintaining Catholic rule, refusing to secularize, but history moves against them. In 1558, Russia invades Livonia, triggering the Livonian War that will destroy what remains. Poland, Sweden, and Denmark all join the conflict, carving up the region. The Livonian order caught between multiple armies. They collapse under the pressure of fighting wars on multiple fronts with inadequate resources and declining support. In 1561, the last master of the Livonian order, Gotthard Kettler, makes the final decision. He secularizes the order, converts to Lutheranism, transforms Livonia into the Duchy of Courland and Semigalia, a secular vassal state of Poland. No longer a Crusader order, no longer warrior monks, the Livonian order is dissolved. They were the order that almost succeeded, the order that could have been another Teutonic Knights, but one catastrophic mistake at Saule ended them. They became a warning instead of a legend. From the founding of Riga to the swamps of Saule, the brothers proved something. Never assume invincibility when your enemies have been watching you win. If tragic tales of warrior monks getting annihilated earned your interest, subscribe. Drop a comment on which order you want next, and I will see you in the next one.